Now, here's Mitch.
All right, we welcome you to 5 o'clock hour here on 760 WJR. Kevin will have the headlines for us in just a minute, but first let's say hi to Dan Perry, former Cairo-based Middle East editor and London-based Europe-Africa editor for the AP. Served as chairman of the Foreign Press Association in Jerusalem. Dan, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you, Mitch?
Good. Where do you see, in your kind of 20,000-foot view, where do you see this all going here? Trump is clashing with everything, the courts, Congress, universities, foreign friends, allies. Everybody's getting tariffed. And we were talking with a guest a little earlier who said he hasn't even been in office for 100 days yet, and it's like, God, it feels like 6 months. One thing I can tell you about the American audience, the American populace, they tire of things. They wear out. They get weary. That's why we're always changing trends and movie stars that we like and TV shows and all, because we get tired of it. And I do believe that people will just get tired, fatigued of this battling and this destroying of everything and this worrying about is the economy going in the toilet and all the rest. So where do you see this playing out over the course of the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, look, for practical purposes, the American people have a chance in a year and a half to put the brakes on everything by punishing the Republicans in the midterms in 2026. And, of course, not re-electing anything close to MAGA or the GOP in 2028. But look, the way I see things, honestly, from the 20,000-foot view that you described to me, elections have consequences. And voters are supposed to be cognizant of their system. And in the American system, the presidency is quite imperial, and there's almost no way to get rid of the person for 4 years. So those mistakes have consequences. And, there's a great line in Live and Let Die in 1973 James Bond movie, where Bond did something terrible to the Mr. Big, and the henchmen say that kind of mistake is tough to bounce back from. This kind of mistake that the Americans made in November 2024 is, I don't know if they can bounce back from it, but I can tell you from abroad where I live, the damage that they can cause in 4 years or even in 2, let's say, until the midterms fix a little bit of it, is very, very consequential. I look at it, I must tell you, beyond the quotidian, on a holistic level, as something to do with the global tussle between liberal democracy and authoritarianism. And Trump is obviously an authoritarian, which is weird, because America, for the last 80 years, since World War II, when we set up the post-World War II order that gave the world so much stability and prosperity, America led the order of liberal democracy. And to Americans, the word liberal confuses them because it's become mutated to mean something like far left. But liberal democracy just means the government can't do anything it wants. The government can't just go in and decide, well, we were elected, so whatever we do goes, and we can kill anyone named Mitch or Dan. You can't do that because there's individual rights, minority rights, freedoms of every kind, limits on the executive. Trump doesn't believe in that. And that's where we are. And when you have such people, they do everything they can to keep the public ignorant and compliant. And that's why elected authoritarians like Trump, but others also, Erdogan in Turkey, Netanyahu in Israel, by the way, and others, attack the judiciary, attack the media, attack the civil service, and call it the deep state because they want ultimate power.
Well, I'm thoroughly depressed and heading for a beer now. But
I'm just the messenger.
You're just the messenger. Well, you're an eloquent messenger, Dan. Dan Perry, former Cairo-based Middle East editor, and he's London-based African and Europe editor of the Associated Press, and writes for Substack now. Check them all out. Thank you, Dan. Always nice to